What's up guys, my name is Spartan, and in today's video we're going to be diving into some of the strongest things in the Tower Idle Tower Defense, which is actually going to be card masteries. By the end of this video guide, you will know exactly what card masteries are, how and when to actually unlock them, which ones you should prioritize first, and how to avoid wasting stones, coins, and frankly, hours of your time. My goal for this video is to make card masteries simple, clear, and strategic so that you can progress faster without feeling overwhelmed. Because there is a lot involved with card masteries, and it can definitely be pretty intimidating if you don't know what you're doing. Now with that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. So what are card masteries? Every single card in the game has its own unique mastery, and once each mastery is unlocked, they can do a lot of different things. They can buff certain stats, they can change how the card's core mechanic works, they can also just completely add brand new effects to the game. Card masteries are super valuable. But, I hate to say it, there is a small catch. You don't just get card masteries right out the gate. They have to be unlocked. And the way that you unlock any card mastery, you basically need two things. First and foremost, you need every single card at level 7. Level 7 is right here, the max level for all of the cards. The second requirement that you need is you actually need to finish the Tier 16 Wave 100 milestone, and yeah, you just have to reach that milestone. Once you meet those minimum requirements, then card masteries become available to purchase, and then that's where the real kind of strategy begins. So how do card masteries actually work? Each card mastery costs stones upon unlock, as in if I want to purchase a card mastery, it's going to cost me a specific amount of stones. Depending on the card, that can range anywhere from 500 stones on the low end up to 1250 stones for the more expensive ones. But unlocking the mastery itself is only the first step. As soon as you unlock any given card mastery, you then get access to the card mastery research. That is available in the lab screen. Here's where things begin to get kind of pricey. So every mastery lab in the game starts around 1 quadrillion coins. Like one little Q. It is absolutely crazy. The total cost to actually max any given mastery lab is about 50 quadrillion coins, which is pretty steep. So card masteries are definitely not for the earlier stages of the game. These take quite a bit of resources and time to sort of get where you want them. And just keep in mind, if you try to rush into card masteries without proper preparation, you'll probably likely bleed resources too fast. That's going to kind of segue us into the next topic, which is going to be when should you consider unlocking masteries? So when should you start unlocking card masteries? My personal recommendation, and this is what a lot of players have also done, is that basically they will first unlock Golden Combo. And the reason behind that is essentially because the mastery labs, like we just mentioned, are unbelievably expensive. You want your economy and your coin production to be in a stable place before you start committing to the 50Q per lab. But there are a few exceptions. A few masteries are very valuable even at level 0 without spending a single coin on the lab, and those include a couple. First and foremost, Recovery Package Chance Mastery. This is one that is good even at level 0. Even when you just unlock it, this one is super good. The reason being, this mastery basically gets you the hidden resource in the tower, which is time. So reroll shards. So what this looks like is giving you module shards so that you can develop your module levels over the course of time. The sooner that you can get your hands on Recovery Package Chance Mastery, in my opinion, the better. It's just really good. I think in terms of the first mastery, this would probably be best in slot, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. The second mastery that is pretty good just on unlock is actually going to be the Damage Mastery. This one is pretty good. Especially if you're like on the tail end of staying in Legends League, or you're trying to figure out how to sort of get to the Glass Cannon stage. Damage Mastery is a no-brainer. You get a flat percentage multiplier added on to your existing damage card multiplier, and you just get a lot of value from this card. It's really good. And then also, another one that's pretty good upon unlock is going to be Cash Mastery. This one is really good, especially if you are at the point of having like a whole bunch of brand new Ancestral modules, or you have a whole bunch of Mythic Plus modules and you're getting pretty close to getting some Ancestral. Having Cash Mastery even at level 0 can help quite a bit in terms of actually stocking up on reroll dice so that you can properly develop your module sub-effects. I would say that personally these three provide immediate value upon unlock, Everything else usually is better to wait until you're more economically stable. That would be my opinion. Now, really quickly, let's just do a brief Masteries overview. Masteries can effectively be put into 3 different categories. The first is Econ. This is going to be anything that adds to your coin production, your cell production, your reroll shards, anything like that. That would fall into Econ. Second is going to be damage. Pretty self-explanatory. Anything that provides effective damage. So this will look like damage, attack speed, different things like that. And last but not least is going to be EHP. This will be things that not only relate directly to your health bar, but influence how quickly enemies can actually hit your tower and hurt you. Looking at things like survivability, sustain, and long-run stability. So first and foremost, let's just quickly go line item by line item, and I'm just going to read you guys what each card mastery actually does. Starting with damage. Damage increases the card's stat multiplier and unlocks the damage mastery research. You can see the increased damage is here, and I currently have mine maxed. Next is going to be attack speed. Attack speed increases the base multiplier of your attack speed. Pretty self-explanatory. Next is going to be health. Similar kind of concept, just increases the health multiplier. Next is going to be health regen. Similar kind of thing, boosts your health regen. Moving on to range mastery. Range mastery is actually a little bit different. It basically gives you an added multiplier for your damage per meter, which is pretty good, especially paired up with like Spotlight Plus when you get to that point later on. Next is going to be cash mastery. We kind of already touched on this one, but it adds a chance for elites to drop reroll dice. Really valuable. Next on the list is coins. Pretty self-explanatory, just gives you a higher coin multiplier. Next is going to be slow aura. This one is kind of interesting. It says it adds an additional effect to slow enemies' attack speed, and the lab basically gives you a percentage slow delay between enemy attacks. Now moving on to crit chance. Crit chance, pretty self-explanatory. It gives you a bonus to crit chance, super crit chance, and super crit factor. Basically just some added damage. Next is going to be enemy balance. Enemy balance is actually really good. This basically just gives you a chance to have double spawn elites. Really valuable. Next is going to be extra defense. Pretty self-explanatory, just gives you guessed it, extra defense. Next is going to be fortress mastery. This one has nothing to do with defense absolute, but it gives you wall rebuild time, which is pretty cool. Next is going to be free upgrade mastery. This one is actually really valuable. It basically gives you stats that you can lock within your workshop, and they don't get affected by free upgrades. So an example of this, I currently have shockwave size locked at 1.3. You can see the little lock animation right there, and I also currently just have the bounce shot range locked. Next is going to be extra orb mastery. This one is actually really good as well. This one allows enemies that are hit by orbs to drop a coin bonus, and the coin bonus multiplier basically just goes up from there. Next is going to be plasma cannon mastery. This one allows plasma cannon to also fire at elite enemies for a reduced amount of damage. And you can see the percent of the regular plasma cannon damage is what you actually get to upgrade, so it starts at 5%. Next is going to be crit coin. In terms of the Econ masteries, this one is generally regarded as the weakest, but I mean, Econ is Econ, I guess, if you want to look at it that way. Next is going to be wave skip. A really good Econ mastery. Super good. It synergizes well with GT+. It also synergizes well with enemy balance mastery. It's just really good. It basically just gives you a chance to have a double wave skip instead of just a single wave skip. You can see I currently have level 4, and that gives me a 30% chance. Next is going to be intra sprint mastery. This one is a huge. Intra sprint mastery is actually really good. It says it dramatically increases how many waves intra sprint actually stays active. At the first level, intra sprint takes you to 180 waves, and at max level it takes you to 1800 waves. Really good. Intra sprint mastery is also kind of a cheat code for Legends League tournaments because you basically get to skip every other boss wave. Next is going to be landmine stun. This one basically says it unlocks flashbang, which causes enemies that are stunned by a landmine to have a chance to miss their attacks. And obviously what you get with the lab flashbang is it basically just increases the chance that enemies will miss their attacks if they're stunned. Next we're going to have recovery package chance mastery. This one is arguably the best first pick that you should have. This one, like I mentioned, it kind of goes alongside the same sentiment as like lab speed in terms of just you get the secret currency in the tower, which is time. It is super valuable. You can see what it says. It says unlocks care package, which gives packages a chance to also deliver a common module, which ideally would just get auto shattered and turned into module shards. Recovery package chance also synergizes super well with Shatter Shards Lab, so both of these kind of go hand in hand together, but it's just really, really good. And now moving on to Death Ray. Death Ray is kind of interesting. It basically allows Death Ray to partially pierce the Protector's shield and unlocks the enhanced Death Ray Mastery Research. You can see, basically, it just tells you how much of the Protector's shield piercing effect is. Like, at unlock, it is 5%. Next is going to be Energy Net. What this one does is gives you basically extra damage to the bosses, which is pretty good, especially if you're running like Glass Cannon and dying to bosses like I am. I'm actually really considering getting Energy Net pretty quickly. I don't know, we'll see. Next is going to be Super Tower. Super Tower is definitely way up there in terms of the damage masteries. It basically allows 35% of the card's multiplier, which is this number here, to basically increase all of your ultimate weapon damage and decreases the Super Tower cooldown. The lab that you get with this basically just reduces the Super Tower cooldown time. And when you have it maxed like I do, you basically get permanent Super Tower, which is just super, super good. No pun intended. Next is going to be Second Wind Mastery. This one is actually really good for EHP builds. It says it unlocks a lingering health regen buff when activated, which lasts for 400 waves and unlocks the Angel Wings research. What Angel Wings does is it basically just increases the health regen multiplier. And again, that lasts for 400 waves. If you have the max Second Wind recharge lab, your Second Wind will basically be up every 400 waves, assuming you survive that long. So effectively, you can pretty much have a permanent health regen multiplier through Second Wind Mastery. Really, really good. Next on the list, let's talk about Demon Mode. Demon Mode is pretty similar to Second Wind Mastery, but instead of the health regen, it gives you a lingering damage multiplier. At max level, this takes you to 6 times damage. Same sort of thing as Second Wind. Whenever you have the Demon Mode recharge lab finished, you can basically have a permanent 6 times damage multiplier. Next, let's go ahead and talk about Energy Shield. So Energy Shield Mastery, it says Energy Shield activates a blast that repels all enemies back by a % of the tower's max range. And it destroys all of the enemy's projectiles. The charge time of rays are reset, and it also unlocks the Repel Research. So what Repel does is basically just increases the pushback as a % of the tower's range. And the starting level for that is 5% of the tower's range. So think of it as like basically an additional shockwave that you get whenever an energy shield is hit. Next is going to be Wave Accelerator Mastery. Wave Accelerator is actually really, really good in terms of Econ. This basically increases the rate at which spawn rates accelerate, causing more enemies to spawn in earlier waves, and unlocks the Wave Accelerator Mastery Research. And you can see at max level it gives you 200% quicker spawn rate acceleration. So what this looks like is basically the spawn rate is this little number here in parentheses, the 49. It caps out at 56. So 56 is the max spawn rate. So if, for example, you would normally get the max spawn rate at 6,500 waves, with the Wave Excel Mastery at max level, it would basically be half of that. Now let's go ahead and talk about Berserker. Berserker is also really, really good in terms of damage. So what Berserker does is it increases the damage cap to times 500 instead of the times 8 for a duration when Death Defy is activated, and it unlocks the Viking Funeral Research. What this basically does is just affects the amount of time that the damage cap is basically raised, and it starts at 30 seconds. Next, let's talk about Ultimate Crit Mastery. This one is also really, really good in terms of damage. You can see what it says. It basically just increases the chance for an ultimate crit to occur, and the starting level for that is 0.33%. Ultimate crits definitely deal a lot of my damage, and especially to like bosses and elites and things like that, it's super, super valuable. So this is another one that I'm really considering getting in the near future. Next, let's talk about Nuke Mastery. So what Nuke does, it kind of works the same way that Slow Aura does. It just unlocks a lingering attack speed slow, which lasts for 300 waves after the nuke goes off, and unlocks the Radiation Research. So similar thing is like Demon Mode and Second Wind Mastery. It's ideal if you already have the Recharge Nuke lab finished. But you can read what radiation does here. It slows the enemy attack speed for 300 waves, which is conveniently the same amount of time that the recharge lab is. So effectively, you could also have a permanent, basically slow on the enemy attack speed. Again, this pairs up very well with slow aura, also just giving a time delay between the enemy attacks. Really, really good. And last but not least, let's talk about area of effect. A lot of you guys will not actually have this card unlocked yet. If you're watching this video and you're like, what the heck is this card? You unlock area of effect at tier 20. But you can see what the mastery says here. It says increases the range of all enemy area of effects and unlocks the area of effect plus mastery research. This does is basically just increases the area of effect radius. So things like your poison swamp, your inner landmines, your smart missiles, your flame bot, your landmines, all of your area of effect things basically get a little radius buff. And you can see the starting percentage buff for this radius is 2.5%. But that's kind of a brief overview of each individual mastery. Let's go ahead and break down the ideal pick order based on the specific category. Keep in mind, this is mostly my opinion, but I have consulted the mentors in our Discord server and also just more knowledgeable people than myself. And my goal with this list was to basically get it as concise and proper as possible. And with that, let's go ahead and dive in. The first and foremost, let's actually talk about the Econ category. These, again, just kind of control your long-term scaling and overall progression speed in terms of coin progression. So the recommended pick order for the Econ category goes as follows. The very first one that you should consider getting is going to be Recovery Package Chance Mastery. This one I think is truly just the overall best return on investment in the entire game. Just, again, super, super valuable. The second card mastery that you should get in terms of Econ is actually going to be a twofer, because both of these go together. And these two are basically Wave Accelerator and Intro Sprint Mastery. Both of these go hand in hand and they save you a lot of time. They allow your runs to go a little bit quicker, which means you can get more runs done in a day through Intro Sprint. And Wave Excel basically just makes those shorter runs more cost effective. It's just really a no-brainer. Both of these are super, super good. Likewise, with Intro Sprint in particular, like I said, if you're at the point of being in Legends League, this is really a cheat code for Legends. Next in the Econ category is actually going to be Enemy Balance. This one is really, really good across the board. Obviously, on paper, it looks like it would just be good for cells, but trust me, especially if you have a semi-developed Golden Tower Plus, Enemy Balance is really good for coins as well, mainly through the added scatter enemies. Each of the scatter babies that you get will add to your golden combo counter. Each one of the little babies count as a kill, which is really, really good. You can get a lot of extra multipliers there. Look, there's a scatter right there, and you can see how quickly the number basically went up with that scatter. So yeah, Enemy Balance is definitely a no-brainer. It's really, really good. Next on the list for the Econ category is actually going to be Coins Mastery. This one is one of the more expensive masteries, but it is super, super valuable. Let me just briefly show you what my multiplier looks like with the Coin Mastery equipped, and then I'll show you what it looks like without it equipped. Alright, so you can see it basically got cut completely in half. That is how good Coin Mastery is. Obviously, you have to factor in the actual mastery portion of the card itself. Basically factors into about a 30% increase to your total multiplier. But still, it is super, super good. Next on the list in the Econ category is actually going to be Wave Skip Mastery. Wave Skip Mastery kind of plays alongside with both GT Plus and Intro Sprint and Wave Excel, getting your runs done quicker and making them more efficient. Having a chance for double wave skips will give you the extra added coins and cash bonus from the card itself, and it does really, really good with Black Hole Digester as well. Wave Skip Mastery is just super, super good across the board. And really the last one in terms of the Econ category pick order is going to be Extra Orb Mastery. This one is really, really good as well. It not only allows your extra orbs to add a coin bonus, but it also includes your workshop orbs as well. That's going to wrap it up for the Econ category. Let's go ahead and talk about the damage category. So first and foremost in the damage category is actually going to be, yet again, Recovery Package Chance Mastery. It's just so good. With Recovery Package Chance Mastery, you get two different damage sources out of it. Through your cannon module levels, improving that base multiplier is just super, super valuable. But also your core. You get a lot of value from your core, your ultimate weapon damage. Super, super good. Recovery Package Chance just truly is a no-brainer. Next on the list is actually going to be the damage card mastery. This one is pretty straightforward. It's just a damage increase, which is always useful. And you don't have any prerequisites to hide behind with the damage mastery, which is great. You can get immediate use out of it at really no expense at your own. Next on the list is actually going to be Super Tower Mastery. This one in particular is really good, but there's a little bit of a catch. With Super Tower Mastery, you want to make sure that you have enough daily income to be able to fund this all the way to max level. Because if you don't have max level with the Super Tower Mastery, you're only getting this damage buff to your ultimate weapons like half of the time. So this is one that you for sure want to try to take to max level as quickly as you possibly can. Next on the list is actually going to be the Demon Mode Card Mastery. This one, again, is just great for sustainable long-term damage. And there's a couple synergies that are really good. If you've gotten some keys in Legends League, you can get the Demon Mode automation. Just the first level is perfectly fine. And basically, it just lets Demon Mode activate as soon as its recharge is done. So you can see with mine, my Demon Mode will refresh in 183 waves. But in the meantime, I'm still getting that damage buff. And it will immediately recast once the recharge is finished. Obviously, the prerequisite with this one is you want to make sure to get the recharge lab for Demon Mode done. Next on the list is actually going to be Ultimate Crit Mastery. This one, again, is just really good. It has really good scaling, especially in the later stages of the runs, when really at that point you're kind of relying on ultimate crits more so than just like normal damage. After this point, there's a few different options, but if you're dying to bosses, you could get Energy Net after that. It's just really good for melting bosses. If you're dying to like Ray enemies or things like that, you could get Plasma Cannon, really good there. Or if you want, you could also get the Berserker Mastery, mainly just for the sake of kind of getting the extra damage buff. The only real caveat with Berserker Mastery, again, is that it only happens when Death Defy activates. So it's a little bit RNG based, but it's still really good. And again, we kind of already talked about area of effect. It really doesn't matter until you get tier 20, so avoid prioritizing it too early. This one is pretty good, but area of effect you don't even really need until you have way more card slots than I currently have. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for the damage category. Let's go ahead and briefly touch on the EHP category. So this one might actually surprise you a little bit. The best overall first mastery you should get in terms of the EHP category, it's actually going to be Recovery Package Chance Mastery. It's just really good. The Recovery Package Chance Mastery is really good. It gives you module shards through dropping common modules through packages, and that of course allows you to get some more levels into your armor module, which then increases your tower health multiplier. So it's just really good across the board. I think it's probably one of the best masteries you can get at the start. Let me know in the comments if I'm beating a dead horse at this point, but long story short, Recovery Package Chance Mastery is really good. Number 2 on the list is actually going to be the Second Wind Mastery. This one is super strong for EHP. It's extremely powerful, but you do have a few requirements that are definitely needed for this mastery to really be most effective. First and foremost, like we already discussed, is the Second Wind Recharge Lab fully maxed. Second is ideally you would want a wall rebuild time of under 300 seconds. And ideally you would also want Demon Mode active permanently through the Recharge Lab being completed. Then this will basically allow you to get permanent Second Wind chains, which is really good. You don't have all three of those. The one that you could get before Second Wind Mastery would probably be Health Regen Mastery. This one is really good, and it doesn't have any real sort of things that you need before getting it. It does pair very good with Second Wind for massive sustain later on. You get about a 50 times regen factor, which is really good. Next card mastery in the EHP category is actually going to be Slow Aura. This one again just allows for double the spacing between enemy attacks at max level, which basically translates to more health regen time, less burst damage, and overall just better survivability. Slow Aura Mastery is really a no-brainer. It's super good. Next mastery on the list is actually going to be the Nuke Mastery. This one is also really strong. It is a little bit dangerous without the Battle Condition Reduction Lab done, and also without max Wall Thorns. In longer runs, you may notice that you're kind of stacking boss piles, which is definitely pretty scary, but Nuke is super good nonetheless. Kind of the late game pick that you could get after that point is just the base health mastery, just increasing your health. It only gives an extra 3 times return and requires full lab investment to really be effective. It doesn't have very good early game value, and quite frankly, assist mods are really better for the early game, but the health mastery is good nonetheless. Now that we've covered the picking order, let's go ahead and just summarize the contents of this video. To wrap up everything basically kind of quickly in a few sentences, first and foremost, card masteries unlock when all cards are maxed and you reach the tier 16 wave 100 milestone. Additionally, they cost anywhere from 500 to 1250 stones, plus 50 quadrillion coins in the lab to complete any given mastery lab. One thing that I really want to stress is don't rush into card masteries. They are super valuable, but if you don't have a proper Econ foundation, meaning golden combo, you're not going to get near as much value from getting these card masteries because you will not be able to fund the labs. Again, there are 3 exceptions to that. I would consider recovery package chance mastery, damage, or cash if you absolutely were hard pressed on getting one. And really, last little bit that I want to just touch on is recovery package chance mastery. It's really good. Recovery package chance mastery. You know, it translates to module shards, which obviously like helps you boost your module levels. It's really good. You know, you get damage, you get EHP, you get coins, and you get ultimate weapon damage. I mean, recovery package chance is really just a no-brainer. It's really, really good. You should probably consider getting it. Probably as your first mastery. It's pretty good. You know, recovery package chance, it's pretty good. And with that, that's actually going to wrap up today's video, but I really hope that you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, do me a solid and like the video and drop a comment down below. It helps me a lot with the YouTube algorithm. Also, we have YouTube memberships. I do a monthly giveaway for the YouTube members only. Hit the join button below if you'd like to check that out. And lastly, please consider using my content creator code in the Tower web store or in-game app. I really appreciate all of the love and support. You guys are absolutely amazing, and yeah, that's about all I have to say on that. Just thank you guys. And lastly, we have a Discord server with 3,000 people in it. 3,000 people. We've been building this community for the good part of 9 months at this point. Basically the same time frame as a baby. And anyway, with that, that's going to wrap up the contents of today's video, but thank you guys so much for watching, and like always, I will see you guys later.